Using video to build your brand. I'm your guide, Krayl Funch, for this journey for today. And I did this on a presentation in the form of a roadmap so that you can sort of see where your journey might take you. To say a little bit about me, my story, my name is Krayl Funch. I am a home and event stylist, and my passion for living well hopefully is evident in everything that I touch. I was raised in Connecticut, just outside of New York City in Stamford, Connecticut. I went to the University of Delaware and then moved to Bucks County, Pennsylvania. I lived in New Hope, Pennsylvania for over 13 years. And then about 5 years ago, moved to Tampa Bay to be with my husband. We were college sweethearts and reconnected after about 11, 12 years. And he lives in Tampa, so that's where I am now. My work blends New England kind of practicality and sophistication with my newfound appreciation of Southern hospitality. And I just really love it. So a little bit more background. My inspiration is usually found in nature or trips. We travel extensively, and I'm lucky enough to apply this inspiration to my projects. I work with clients on various projects, including seasonally inspired entranceways, as well as interior design, creating tablescapes, and seasonal displays, whether it's at an entranceway or within their home, etc. So, someone's messaging me. So hopefully everybody will see this link. Along with working with my private clients, my current projects include my launch of my first book called An Appealing Plan, A Year of Everyday Celebrations. And that is filled with amazing pictures. I worked with a great photographer, and we were able to capture some amazing recipes as well as tablescapes, seasonal inspiration such as gardens, entranceways, etc. So looking forward to this launch process, and as much work as I thought the book was, and realizing that there's just as much work in the launch and promotion of the book. So why am I here? Why am I presenting this to you? I have been featured in various print magazines as well as video. So this does give me a little bit of background. Then in terms of working with brands, in terms of working with PR companies, and getting my message out through video. So on your roadmap, here we are. We're going on your roadmap. We've got some valleys or ups and downs, but hopefully more ups than downs, and we'll be hitting the sky's the limit at some point soon. Okay, so why use video in your business? A few statistics that I wanted to share, and I will give you more of these, and again, I can send this to you directly, but videos increase people's understanding of your product or services by 74%. These are all surveys that were taken, and consumers as well as people on the street were asked. These are from various sources. YouTube is the number 2. Google is number 1, but YouTube is number 2. So when people are searching for information, they are searching on YouTube, which is where videos live. A third of all online activity is spent watching videos. So that's a significant amount of time. Imagining the other third might go to Facebook or social media, but for sure 1/3 of all online activity is spent watching video. 50% of users watch business-related videos on YouTube once a week. So if you're looking to add video into your business, meaning you're looking to educate consumers, this is a great way to do it. 75% of users visit the marketer's website after viewing a video. So we'll get a little bit more into the different types of video. But if, for instance, you use a advertising or promotional video, the chances are that those consumers are going to go directly back to your website. Website viewers are 64% more likely to buy a product online on a retail site after watching a video. So this means if you have a product or service that you're selling online and you have a video associated with that product, your consumers or your visitors are 64% more likely to buy a product. So that's significant. If you've already gotten them there, the chances are that they're interested in your product or services. And so the fact that they're 64% more likely to buy is very significant. 80% of your customers online will watch a video, while only 20% will actually read content in its entirety. So this is an interesting statistic because we all think of blogs, and which we all should have. If you're not currently using a blog, I would highly recommend that. But we all think about blogs as writing, but incorporating video into your blogging process can be extremely, extremely valuable to make a connection with your viewers, as well as actually give them the content that they're looking for. A few more statistics. Your website is 50% more likely to appear on the first page of a search engine, whether that's YouTube or Google, that counts, or Bing, or any of them. I know, for instance, lately when you search for something on Google, the first 3 results can be video, and that's without even tapping on the video link. 90% of users say that seeing a video about a product is helpful in the decision process. So that's extremely, that goes back to the 64% of them actually moving forward with their purchase. So a lot of times, we really are visual creatures, and so being able to see how a product is used can be significant in the buying process. An introductory company email that includes a video receives an increased click-through rate of 96%. Meaning, if you have a video, if you have an email campaign, which I hope you all do, but if you have an email campaign and your first video is or your first email is a video, an intro video, your clients are really going to stick around. They're going to come to your website and look for more information. So heading on up the road, what video does your business need? So you know your category of your and your segment of your business the best. So now certain brands and certain companies absolutely 1000% need video. Your category might be more in-person or very text or copy-based, but I would absolutely still recommend you having at least one video on your site. If it's a business, and if you're a brand, more than one. Any brand or business can be transferred into video. Look to the outside of your direct segment for inspiration. So no matter what your business is, even though that does play a part in it, look outside and see what other people are doing and think about how can you apply those types of videos to your own business. So speaking about types of videos, what types of videos do we have? Intro video, content video, and a sales video. Now, of course, there's many more, but these are sort of the 3 core ones that I feel most people really need to have either on their site or on YouTube or somewhere, living somewhere. An intro video tells people who you are, what you do, and why you do what you do. So this can be a very short video. This can be a 1-minute video. If your brand or business is much more complex, you can bring it on up to 30 minutes. But I would do an intro video, 1 to 5 minutes long, telling people who you are so they can connect with your name to your face, which is very important. What you do, meaning how you can be of service to them or your products, and why you do what you do. Now, this is a part that I think a lot of people leave out that is very key to retaining those customers. There's a great video by, I'm blanking on his first name, but his last name is Stanek. And it's a TED video, it's a TED Talk, and I can also send you this link, but it talks about why people buy from you. And it really talks about that people buy what you do, not what you do. So the importance of putting that why in your video is huge, in any video really, but your intro video is key. Moving on to content video. Content videos inform or instruct people about something that's related to your category or your business or your brand. Meaning, I do a lot of content videos, so because people are constantly asking me questions about whether it's decorating or entertaining or DIY, etc. So when people ask me something about my business, or they ask me something about their home or their events, I write that down, and then I can use that as content video. Content video is a lot of what you watch on YouTube, instructional, etc. Sales video, promotional in nature. They're usually used for a limited amount of time and used for promotion. So for instance, my book launch, I've done a book launch video. So now that will live for an extended period of time, but a true sales video would be, a special offer that you're going to offer them, maybe 50% off something, or a one-time bonus for signing up with you to buy a package. I saw some real estate people on board here. So maybe you're doing a video, or you're doing a workshop, and you want to do a sales video, and you offer it for free for a limited amount of time. I saw some photographers on as well. Perhaps this is a quick video that you do that you send out to your email list or put on your website that offers 25% off a certain package, or a certain package. If they sign up, they might get a special offer or a special printout of one of their pictures. So those are the three main types of videos that I think most people would be looking for. Video platforms. The two standards are really YouTube and Vimeo. Right now, there are several others, but those are the two main core ones that you'll find. YouTube is basically public content, so anything that you want to have shared live with public, that you want to live on YouTube or your website that anybody can search and find you fairly easy. Vimeo is usually used for private content. You can search on Vimeo, but most people it's not necessarily a good way for you to get your message out. But Vimeo is used for if you're creating content that you want to use strictly on your website and you don't want it to be shared anywhere else, or you're using strictly to speak to certain buyers and you don't want it found very easily online. So those are the two kind of ways that you want to kind of look at it. Video content and platform combinations. So there's a couple different ways that you can go about creating videos and creating content. The first being your own content in your own platform. So that would be creating a video. Again, I'll go to the real estate agents. A video about a house that you're showing, or maybe you're doing a video on staging, tips for staging your house for selling. You're going to be posting that on your website and or most likely YouTube. So that's producing your own content. You are the star, and it's living on your own platform, promoting your own brand. Another way of producing content is your content on another business's platform. So what this is you're producing content, again, whether it's instructional or such as how to create perfect lighting for a photograph. Your content on another business platform. So you're creating the content, and so say you create that video about creating the perfect lighting for a photograph, but now that's going to live on, let's shoot high, that's going to live on Canon's website. Okay, so it's your content on another business's platform. You've created it, you have maybe either sold it to them or allowed them to use it just for exposure, and it's living on their platform. The final way is creating content for another business's platform, or pitched as the expert. You're creating content that their users are looking for. It's similar to the example that I used about putting your information on Canon, but in this case, you're creating content to have another business platform, such as an interview and or a content instructional video. And this is sort of where it starts to get a little bit more fun. Okay, so this is when the work that I've done really comes into play, and I can say I have a lot more experience in this platform style. So everyone is looking for content. eHow, HGTV, About.com, a bazillion more other outlets are looking for it, and they push throughout hundreds of videos per week, driving people to their websites. Again, there are many more sites, but these are just some of the ones that I've either worked with or have pitched to, etc. So eHow, for instance, I work with eHow. I produce content for them. I am, quote unquote, the expert, but their content is driven by what they know people are looking for. So they do the work of the search engine. They find out what everyone is searching for. We produce content for them. It is then posted on their website. Same thing with About.com. And within your industry, I guarantee there is at least one, if not 10 or 20 sources for people looking for content. Now, when I say within your industry, keep in mind these eHows and the About.com, because what I'll get into a little bit more is that these types of platforms can increase your quote unquote expert factor and your visibility and your exposure, people's exposure to you. So within your group, look for those within your category, but also look outside the box. Okay, and as I mentioned, this is when you become the expert. So on these sites, you usually get a contributor listing your name and what type of content you're going to be producing, a short bio, and a resume, as well as a link to your site of choice. Now, why this is good is it increases your visibility. Again, it labels you as an expert in your industry. So you'll see some carpenters doing house fixer-uppers or fixing a door, how to fix a doorway. So now this carpenter, people will find him, and not only can he share those videos, people can find him directly through that way. So it's a great way to increase your visibility and increases your market visibility drastically, because these sites have unbelievable reach for across the nation as well as across the world. So most people would not have that kind of exposure to those numbers and that kind of market without working with this type of platform. Partnerships projects. So when should you be working with partners in this way? And now this is not exclusive of creating your own content and on your own platform. This is just a different way. So why would you do this? Similar to the reasons that we just talked about: increase your exposure, create your expert status. When would you do this? When you're looking to get the word out about your brand, get the word out about your company, but you would also continue to do it when you have an established brand and you want to promote that brand. And what will you be doing? Usually video, but sometimes they will ask you to write articles as well. So keep in mind that's also an opportunity. You still get a link. You still are considered a contributor. So don't scoff off just the written word, but try to encourage them to do the video segments. So how do you get involved with doing these? It's important to build a relationship with these brands, and this can take a long time, or it can take no time. Ask around for the people that you know. You might be surprised at who is already working with these types of platforms. And another way to get in is to simply pitch projects to them. Most of these sites have, contact us, work with us, submit an article, those type of things. So pitching projects to them with your own twist is important. Know their demographic, know what their readers and or viewers are looking for, and pitch projects that also take into consideration your expertise and the branding that you want to go, to spread out there. Once you've pitched the project, a lot of times the producers will put you in communication with a video team. So when I've done this, I've worked with a producer, and she's actually out of California, and she produces the project. I pitch the project to them. It's usually a series of several videos, Sometimes it's 10 or 20 videos for one project. And then I put in touch with the video team. The video team and we go out and we scout different areas, and then we prepare to do the videos. So location selection, and this applies to whether you're working with a brand or with a larger company or just your own brand, and you're just looking to do video. So these really apply across the board, and I wanted to make sure to include them. I won't go into too much detail about the actual filming of videos. We'll see if there's an interest, and we can go forward with that maybe in the next year. I know they're looking for topics to handle, so I'm happy to go into that, but that really is a whole other workshop. So basically for this, again, whether you're just starting out, you're doing your first video ever, or you're working with a brand. Location selection. So now I want you to think about the lighting in your space, the noise in the space, and the availability. So what this means is if you do not already own lighting, I'm going to recommend that you shoot anything during the day or outside, etc. So the lighting is really good. You can get very basic lighting packages for a reasonable amount, but if you're just starting out, I want you just to consider doing them by a very bright window, a doorway, something like that, in a bright space or outside even possibly. Consider what kind of noise is going to be there. Now this is a true story. The first time I did a video shoot for eHow, I had the location scouted. I had gone there. It was a great, bright, well lit, expressed my brand, space, everything. When I went and did the walkthrough with the owner, it was during the day, and everything was really fine. There was minimal noise. There was a slight echo, but we fixed that with my camera team. It was available, etc. So on the day of the shoot, there was we started to shoot, and next door was a machine shop, and they started running the vacuums, the drills. They played their music above the machine shop, so it was extremely loud. And so this was something that I really should have asked the owner about, what kind of noise there might be. So even if you don't hear noise when you're there, make sure to ask what the noise level is like when you are at your space. So again, lighting and noise, huge. Availability, big. Okay, so matching your brand. When you pick a space, the background should match the brand and the aesthetic that you're working towards. If you have a really high-end demographic, you want to consider what they're going to see in the background. If you are someone who's talking about landscaping, working, shooting in an office doesn't make that much sense, and vice versa. If you're an office person and you're sitting in a garden with nothing really business around, now you could do it at a park where there's business people walking around, and that would make sense. You could mention something something kind of fun and cheeky like that, but make sure that your location matches your branding and the message that you're trying to send. Consider your partners. So what I mean by this is, perhaps there's someone that you already do work with that might be interested in lending you their space. For instance, I have done videos at local restaurants in their event spaces, being able to promote their space, saying where I am, etc. So it works for both of us. Then people get to see their event space. So think about if you have any brands or partners that you already work with that might be either help decorate your space or use their space. Scripts and props. I highly, highly, highly recommend doing scripted videos. Sitting down the day before, and just writing something out is even better than just walking in blind and not having any idea what you're going to say. The other thing is, I know I do a lot of videos that are kind of free-flowing, and a lot of times the video ends up longer than I really want it to be. The videos these days should be 2 to 3 minutes max. That's about the attention span for most people when they're viewing them on YouTube or on an email or something. The benefit of having scripted, a lot of times I'll do bullet points so I know exactly what I want to say. And even though I'm going to do it free flowing, I get in the exact, 3 bullet points that I want to make sure are in there. Scripted also helps because in your video, you want to have an intro. You want to say who you are. You want to start with who you are. I am Krayl Funch. Business is an appealing plan. I'm a home and lifestyle expert. The benefit of this video. Why are they going to watch this video? Let's see. I just did a video on decorating pumpkins. So the benefit would be add a little style to your front door, and then the body. The body would be the content. So the main content of how to do that, how you're going to stage that house, how you're going to work with them to create beautiful pictures. Then the summary. Make sure at the end you recap it. Thank you very much. This is your business, and we look forward to working with you. Make sure you follow us on YouTube, those type of things. So scripted can really work because you make sure you have those 4 bullet points in there you don't forget, because believe me, you will forget them when you're in the middle of the video. Create a beauty shot item when using props for visuals. So if your video, if you need props, create one beauty item, meaning the perfect flower arrangement, the perfect staged home, the perfect, whatever I have a friend who sells gloves, who sells medical grade gloves. So have those kind of placed nicely, maybe in the office, in a medical office, so that you can be speaking to that video or that beauty shot. Don't try to do that on site. You want to make sure that it's exactly what you want it to look like. Okay, shoot day. Again, this goes for you if you're just doing this on your own. I would pick one shoot day and plan on shooting multiple videos. 3 or 4 you'll really find is probably your max. When I work with camera teams, we can do 10 at a time, but if it's just me, I find 3 or 4 is really my max of where I'm able to do all of the production for. Be over prepared. Make sure you have all of your props. Make sure you have your cue cards. If you're going to read them, make sure you have any additional items that you need. Make sure your space is well lit, and expect a long day. It always takes longer than you think it's going to take. Honestly, especially in the beginning when you're doing them, you will get faster. So, but expect, make sure you even though your videos are only gonna be 2 or 3 minutes, you're gonna have additional takes. You're gonna want to make sure your intro is excellent. You're gonna have bloopers, which are great to edit in, but just expect it to take a little bit longer than it may. Bring your hair, makeup, and a snack. So if you're doing it somewhere offsite, I highly recommend bringing a hairbrush, some makeup, backup. Just pretend you're a model on the site of what you would need, as well as a snack, because again, it can be about 4 hours. So if you're not doing this at home, if you're doing it at a location, bring something to eat and some water. Post-production and waiting and sharing. So when you work with someone who's doing the shoots, you do have to just wait for them to edit it. Trust that they'll do a great job and that they'll get it back to you. They then will load them up. That process can take 1 week. It can take 3 or 4 weeks it's taken. So it's okay to check in, but trust that they know what they're doing. When you do get the links, and again, this is if someone else has edited for you, be sure to share them. So if you're editing them, share on all of your social media platforms. The more views you do, mean more projects, more sales, more of everything. Okay, so share them. Now, if you are doing, for example, eHow or about.com, share them. They'll usually post them on their YouTube channel. Now, what I have done is I will also embed those videos into my own website or blog, and then share them from there, because then they can people can come right back to your site and share them. Make sure that's okay with the person that you're working with. That's very important. So that you have the rights to do that. All right, so from there, sky's the limit, really. Those are just some of my very sort of standard and basic tips on how to create videos for yourself and why to create them, and then the importance and value of working with brands and larger platforms that can help you, really spread the word and spread your brand. I hopefully you enjoyed this. Again, my name is Krayl Funch, and this has been Using Video to Build Your Brand.